Welcome to Don't
Wait,
Repeat What?
I gotta do the intro. The hell?
Welcome to Don't Repeat What Mommy Says.
Welcome.
Welcome. We're talking nutrition for us now.
Yes, for the adults.
So, what do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk about what's good for you or losing weight? Because all the moms think they need to lose weight.
I think we should definitely talk about a little bit of what's good for you because, that's important information. I think there's some stuff that people are definitely still afraid of that they don't need to be. And I definitely think we should talk about fad diets
Okay.
and weight loss. Like what does work, what
Well,
doesn't work.
tell me what you want me to say. I mean, like, what do you want me to touch on?
Well, let's see. We already talked about cholesterol. We talked about fat is really important. Fat doesn't make you fat.
No, we
Um,
didn't say that. We didn't say fat doesn't make you
oh,
fat.
we did not. Let's
No.
talk about fat.
Okay, fat does not make you fat, just so you know. The reason that everybody fruited out about fat, and I was in the generation where everybody went fat free. Let me tell you what happened. Everybody went fat free. They were eating fat free everything. Everybody got fatter, and everybody got health problems, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart problems. Why is this happening? We're not eating fat. You must be eating fat on the sly. I assure you they were not. They were all eating gummy bears because there's no fat in gummy bears. Um, I saw it. I never participated in the no fat fad because fat's yummy and who the hell wants to live without the yumminess of fat? So I didn't care. I was like, I don't care if it makes me fat, it makes me fat. It did not make me fat. And I'm very healthy and I don't have heart problems. I don't have high blood pressure. I have none of the stuff. And before you say it's hereditary, or
It's not.
my heredity is very good, my entire immediate family has those problems. They all went fat free. So no, it's not heredity. And no, I was not always thin. I did get fat at one point. It was not from the fat I was eating. It was from the cheese puffs.
So, the
You
only
need.
reason I can think to choose a low fat or no fat option would be that fat is really calorie dense.
It is. So protein and carbohydrates per gram have 4 calories. Fat, no matter what kind of fat it is, has 9 calories per gram. So it's more than double per gram. So it is high in calorie. So you do have to watch proportions. So yes, if you're counting calories and you've already gone pretty high in your calories for the day, you might want to, go for something lower fat or limit that fat.
Absolutely. So, fat is really important for nutrient absorption. There are a
Absolutely.
lot of vitamins and minerals that we need that are only absorbed by fat.
Absolutely.
So you've
So you have
got,
to. So when you take your vitamins or your supplements in the morning, take them with something with fat, whether it's a piece of toast with butter, a glass of milk, whatever your poison is, but something that has fat in it. It's very important.
well, and if you are taking vitamins for specific reasons, like let's say your doctor told you to take calcium, um, you should definitely look into how different vitamins and minerals react together in terms of absorption,
Mm-hmm.
because it might actually be better to split them up. Because I know for the longest time I was taking all of my vitamins at once, and then
Mm-hmm.
finding out that calcium can impact negatively your iron absorption. And,
I don't take calcium. Did you know that?
there's calcium in my one supplement that I was recommended mostly because of the low ferritin. For some reason, they're like the calcium helps. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it. I didn't look that far into it, but I know that I have to take the iron one time a day and the calcium supplement another time of day because it negatively impacts each other.
This is just my opinion, but I don't want you to take it to heart because I'm not a doctor and I actually didn't study it. But I think that vitamin D is more important than the calcium. Uh, I don't know why. It just seems to be because my bone density is great, and I don't. My calcium levels are fine though, so maybe that is hereditary for me. I'm not really sure.
Well, and talking vitamin D, it's not actually a vitamin. Everyone thinks it's a vitamin. You can just take a vitamin D supplement and you're good. Um, Vitamin D is actually a hormone. Your
Mm,
body has to, so you take the supplement. The goal of the supplement is that it maximizes the amount of vitamin D your body is able to produce in the
right,
usable form.
right.
So just taking the supplement and then living in, you know, constant darkness and never exposing yourself to the light whatsoever is not going to help your vitamin D levels as much as somebody
Right.
who takes the supplement and actually like 5-10 minutes a day is at least is outside.
Well, and so I had skin cancer, so I'm really not supposed to be exposed to the sun very much, but I do try to get at least 10 minutes with no sunblock on at a time,
Yeah.
and that's okay. And that's okay. I haven't had a recurrence of my skin cancer since, but
Well,
otherwise I have to kind of watch it. But it is good to get some. You can get sunlight through the window.
absolutely. You can get indirect sunlight. It is something that they've seen now, and I'm not saying sunblock is bad or UV protection like UPF clothing or UV like window screens are bad because they are good, for reducing skin cancer rates, but it has negatively impacted like as a whole people's vitamin D. And vitamin D levels are really important for a lot of things. Your energy, low vitamin D can lead
Your
to
hair,
depression symptoms, your hair,
you have
your
hair loss.
fertility.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that are really negatively impacted when you have low vitamin D, and I am saying this as somebody with extremely low vitamin D.
Mine was very
Another
low.
thing is soy will actually impact your ability to use vitamin D in a supplement. So I would avoid, if you're going to take a vitamin D supplement, taking it at the same time as you're eating like tofu, or I don't think soy sauce, because it's a fermented soy, has the same issue. But
I don't
like
know.
tofu, soybean oil, like read your labels. That's always what I tell people. Just read the labels.
Yeah, and so and the other thing on fat for the moms out there, everybody's always worried about the belly. Um, Monounsaturated fat actually burns belly fat. It helps your body shed belly fat. So if you're looking to do that, monounsaturated fat. So I'll give you some examples: olives, avocados, nuts, seeds. I'm trying to think of some fish,
Dark chocolate.
dark chocolate. If you like pesto, it has two different MUFA. I call MUFAs, monounsaturated fat. So if you eat a little bit, like a serving of monounsaturated fat with every meal, you will find that you will shed that belly fat a lot easier.
Well, and fat makes you feel full longer. So carbs are usually thought of as like your filler, and they do. They take up a lot of physical space, so you
They
feel
can make
full.
you, they'll make you feel full, yeah, but then you're hungry again.
You're hungry again sooner. So
Mhm.
fats, protein, those things tend to increase satiety, is what they say. But
And then we talked about the complex carbohydrates, but so that's going to be your whole grains, oat. Oat's really good for you. Um, Potatoes, vegetables, fruit, all of those kinds of things are your complex carbs. Any kind of potato, sweet potato, regular potato, purple potatoes,
another
which are my
one
favorite.
I wanted to talk about because I see it gets a bad rap still, um, is MSG. And I've done a lot of research on it because I really like MSG. And
It's
so like
delicious.
I'm totally biased, but I promise the research I was reading is not. They actually found so originally it was two guys who claimed that this restaurant always made them sick. They blamed the MSG, and it became a whole campaign. And they found in double blind studies that people who claimed to have MSG sensitivities, when fed MSG without them knowing it, had no reaction. Um, so MSG is the chemical, like, distilled down version of glutamate. Glutamate is a neurotransmitter that your body actually needs to function properly. And foods that we tend to really enjoy, I know you don't, but tomatoes, sharp cheeses, Parmesan Romano, Asiago,
I do like those.
anchovies, olives, pickles, lots of those like really savory foods, those are naturally high in glutamate. And MSG was actually designed from kelp. So it is naturally derived originally, but I believe it's a synthetic form you typically buy now. But it's a neurotransmitter, and you actually need it. And they've found in some studies that when you add MSG to food, you actually eat less table salt. So it can actually help people who have issues with high sodium intake. So, quit shitting on MSG. I like
Quit
it.
shitting on MSG. And if you're going to buy salt, get iodized salt, please.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you need the iodide in the salt. It's for your thyroid function, actually.
And talking about adult nutrition, salt is not the enemy either. Like, there are certain people who it is recommended to minimize salt, but
And there are.
whether or not that's well studied, I don't really know. I don't believe so.
I think it. So the problem with it is it can cause you to retain water. So if you are somebody who has congestive heart failure or something like that, sodium's going to be not good for you because you're already retaining that water and it's killing you really, just really slow. Like congestive heart failure can go on for decades, but it's pretty terrible in the end, especially people with kidney problems, if they tend to be retaining water, which happens, then low sodium is indicated. So there's reasons that people have to be on a low sodium diet.
But
it's debatable to me as far as the blood pressure goes, but I'm not going to step on doctors' toes on that. They tell you not to do it, I guess don't do it.
yeah, but I think if you are otherwise healthy, salt in your diet's not the end of days, and you probably don't need to be thinking that hard about your sodium intake.
No, and just, I mean, just make sure you get the iodized salt, and they have iodized sea salt now, which sea salt's better for you.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why, but it is. It's tasty.
Sea salt's better for you because it's not considered a clean salt. So your store-bought, like table salt, not sea salt, is a clean salt, so it's just salt. Sea salt has other minerals and stuff in it that change the flavor
that sounds
a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a good rule of thumb, like I think, okay, this is nutrition according to Jennifer, which there's a lot of way to, and I do know a lot about nutrition, but I feel like whenever you can get a food and it's more, the more natural the state the food is in, the better the food is for you. So I am not crapping on packaged meals because they do have good packaged meals out there now. Read your ingredients, and a good rule of thumb, if you don't know a lot, is the fewer ingredients in it, probably the better the quality the food is. So I usually I cook most of my meals. I'm pretty conscious about what I eat, but I work like everybody else, and I get busy, and so I do eat, like frozen meals that you can just shove in the microwave. They have some really good ones out there. Just read the labels, and some that are really tasty. And then sometimes just eat garbage and don't worry about it.
Well, and with some of those, when you're looking at things that are labeled as a healthy food, definitely read the labels, because some of them are labeled healthy, and what they really mean is lower calorie or lower fat. And it's not necessarily healthier, it's just a different amount of calories.
Okay, and I'm going to help all of you out there right now who want to lose weight. You lose weight by eating in a calorie deficit. So you must eat less calories than your body burns to lose weight. Now, when you're losing said weight, you would like to lose fat. not muscle, right? Because when you lose muscle, which when you lose weight, if you lose a significant amount of weight, you probably are going to lose some muscle. It happens. It's okay. You can build that back up. But your muscle burns more calories at rest than fat. So the more muscle mass you have, the more food you can eat without it affecting you, because it speeds your metabolism up. So the goal is to have a good amount of lean muscle. However, you cannot gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, because in order to gain muscle, you must eat more calories than you burn in a day. So you want to lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. You want to gain muscle, you have to have a surplus of calories. So that's confusing and it seems impossible. It's not. So now for most women, there is a big long formula to figure out exactly how many calories you need to maintain your weight. You don't have to do all that. For most women, it's around 2,000 calories a day. If you ate 2,000 calories a day, you will probably stay the same weight that you are right now, and it won't change. If you look up the formula and do it, you'll be within 50 calories of that on either way. So no reason to do all that math. Just around 2,000 calories. Now, if you start getting close to 2,000 calories and you're full, probably your caloric needs are a little bit less than that. So, listen to those. When you're eating, eat a little bit slower and ask yourself, am I still hungry, or is this just really tasty and I feel like I need to eat more? So you can start listening to those hunger cues, because adults will actually stop eating if they think about it, if you listen to your body. Okay, so how do you do that? Take 2,000 calories for 7 days, add that up. So you're going to want to eat less than that in 7 days. So you can do some days where you eat very calorie restricted. So on those days, your body will be losing fat, right? But now you have this many calories that you can play with. A couple of days a week, you could eat more calories than your body burns. Those are the days when you're going to want to do some weight-bearing exercise, whether you're using your body weight or whatever. And those days you'll be gaining muscle. But at the end of the week, if your goal is weight loss overall, at the end of the week, just make sure in those 7 days you're still at a calorie deficit. And that is how you lose weight in a healthy way, where most of the weight you're losing is fat and you're actually building up your lean muscle.
Well, and so a lot of diets that are set up now that people have done that have been successful. Intermittent fasting is one I hear a whole lot. Another one that was big for a while, it seems to be less so now, Weight Watchers.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those programs, the way you're doing them, is designed to put you in a calorie deficit without actually counting calories.
Right.
So things like that, it's the same thing in a different shirt.
It is.
And
just remember, if you want weight loss and then you want to maintain your weight for a lifetime, which I lost 105, but now I think it's 108 pounds. I've kept it off for 23 years. Now there has been times where my hormones changed and I put on 20 pounds or whatever, and then I had to work to get that back off. But for the most part, I never gained more than 20 pounds back over the last 23 years, and I've taken it all off. If you want to do that, you need to find a lifestyle that works for you. So you need to find a way to eat that works for you, and that is not going to look the same for every person. It's just not. And then you have to ask yourself, what are the foods you cannot live without? If there are foods you cannot live without, do not take those off the table for you. So you can limit them. You can, I'm going to treat myself on Saturdays to this. That's fine, but don't deprive yourself of something you love.
Yeah. Because it's not sustainable.
It's not. You want this to be a lifestyle. You don't want to just lose the weight only to gain it back and then some. I know that we've all done that. It's demoralizing.
So I also wanted to talk fad diets. So should we run through a few?
Go right ahead.
All right. So the first one that comes to mind, Atkins.
I mean, it's fine.
I think the issue with the original Atkins before they redid it was people weren't getting enough nutrients, basically, because it wasn't original Atkins just like
It was
basically the
basically a carnivore diet,
carnivore diet.
but the
Yeah.
problem with it, like, because I was a waitress when that was like a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So people come in and get these like, I would like an omelet and I want an entire dozen eggs. I don't care what I have to pay for that. So it'd be like a dozen eggs with like all this cheese and shit. And so then they'd be like, I don't know why I'm not losing weight. I'm like, well, because I mean, there's calories. Like, no
Right.
matter what you do, if you're eating more calories than you're burning, you're not going to lose weight. You're going to gain weight. That's what it is.
So, yeah. Uh,
That's just what it is.
Keto was like Atkins, but extra fatty.
So
Fatkins.
keto,
No, I'm
and
kidding.
I've done like, so because my health is really good and because I'm really into like the fitness and diet and stuff, and I've done a lot of research on the subject over the years, in addition to the schooling that I took, I have done a lot of these diets short term to see like what I think about them so I can talk to people in an educated way. I did the keto thing. And I went through a food program. So like you tell them like what kinds of food you like, and they actually came up with a meal plan for you. Well, first of all, I think they were feeding me like 1,400 calories a day. So I was in a huge calorie deficit. So yeah, I lost a lot of weight. I felt pretty satisfied. But on keto, I don't recommend it particularly for us older ladies. And I'm not saying it's not good for anybody, but as you get older, sometimes you run into problems with your body not having enough nutrients. Anyway, it tanked my potassium to eat like that. So, and so, yes, when I do these weird fad things so that I can talk to people about them in an intelligent way and tell you, not only did I do the research, I tried it, I had blood work done, and my potassium levels in doing keto for 3 months, like tanked. They weren't bad, they were great, and then they were down here. So for me, keto is not healthy. Can't do
Yeah.
keto. If
So,
if it works for you, I urge you to get blood work just to make sure that it's not doing something weird to your electrolytes.
yeah. And let's see, another fad diet. And it wasn't a ton of people doing this one, mind you, but it kind of became an internet thing. The fruitarians.
That's just,
It's
you'll die.
dumb. You'll
You'll
die.
die.
You will literally die of
You will
starvation.
die. I actually knew a fruitarian.
Yeah. Did
She
she
didn't
die?
look good. I don't know if she died yet, but you cannot just eat fruit and not die. And she was like, "Well, you eat nuts because nuts are a fruit. The only nut that has a complete protein is pistachios, and you cannot eat enough pistachios in a day." And I'm not
Yeah.
even sure if they eat pistachios. Is that one considered a fruit nut?
So I looked up some other fad diets. The Fast 800. You
What's
eat
that?
800 calories a day for 8 weeks, often
Okay.
using meal replacements.
Okay. Okay.
Basic,
Well, I think if you have an event that you're going to and you're hell bent on losing a lot of weight, that's probably okay, but it's not going to be sustainable. You're only doing it for 8 weeks, so I believe you're going to lose a lot of your muscle mass, and you're probably going to put on the weight that you lost and plus some, and your metabolism's going to be worse. So I wouldn't recommend that.
this one's not technically a diet, but charcoal detoxes are apparently a thing.
I
And
mean, if your dog eats poison, giving them charcoal works.
yes, so this involves fasting and then consuming charcoal
Charcoal.
infused drinks. Says
Yeah.
there's no evidence to support the weight loss claims, but it has been shown to interfere with medications and nutrient absorption.
I
So
could
maybe
see
don't do
that.
that.
Don't do that. I don't I don't have a problem with fasting, but I think you need to be smart. Like I don't like I don't like diets that restrict a food group.
Yeah.
Only because we are omnivores. So a lot of people doing the carnivore thing, I feel Same way about carnivore as I do about vegan. It's just really hard to get everything that you need when you're only eating that because people they will tell you that we're carnivores, but we're not. We're omnivores. We're not carnivores. We're not.
Well,
It's
and
not
that's
how
like
we're designed.
I've told this to a few people who've been looking at like grocery shopping, and they want to go buy the all vegetarian fed chicken. And I'm like,
Yeah,
if you're going to eat meat, the nutrition of your meat matters. A chicken that has only been fed a vegetarian diet has not had complete nutrition. It did not live a good life. It will not have everything you need to get the most bang for your buck out of vegetarian meat. Cows are herbivores. You want a grass fed cow.
right.
You do not want a vegetarian fed chicken.
No. And
A
they're not vegetarian fed. They got bugs from somewhere.
I
Because
think
they're
they
not
cons-
vegetarians.
I don't know if they consider bugs vegetarian or not. But like
But it's
so
not vegetarian.
my thing with the chickens I raise, I feed them what I call a species appropriate diet when people ask. I make sure they are getting the right amounts of proteins, fats, carbohydrates. They eat lots of meat, bugs, plants. They also, chickens by nature, I know nobody wants to think about this. Chickens are cannibals. It is actually normal for them to eat other
And it's
chicken and to
yeah.
eat eggs, and it's good for them in
Yeah.
small quantities.
It's not like a cow eating cow.
Right.
They don't get mad chicken disease.
I don't think they even live long enough for it to
They
happen.
it's just, yeah, they're supposed to be eating what they're supposed to be eating. Just like we're supposed to be eating what we're supposed to be eating.
I think about it this way. Like, lots of people have dogs. Dog people are really big on their pet nutrition. If you care that much about making sure your dog is getting all of the nutrition from all of the food groups it needs, you should care that you are getting all the nutrition you need from all of the food groups based on your species. As a species, we are omnivores.
And I feel like a lot of these diets, like the carnivore thing, I'll come back to that just because it's the biggest craze right now. You know,
Yeah.
they're like, well, you can avoid having your potassium drop by drinking element in your water and all this stuff. You know, you have to add all these electrolytes. I'm like, if I have to artificially add um, things that are not from nature to my diet, then that is a lacking diet.
Well,
And so I don't feel that that is the best way to live. Also, I don't feel like it is a sustainable lifestyle. And what is the point of losing weight if you're going to put it back on? Because at some point, I know people who've done the carnivore thing and lost a crap load of weight. They were looking good, whatever. And then all of a sudden they're like, I need the muffin. And then like they blow up like Willy Wonka, like the girl from Willy Wonka. And I'm just like, okay, see, you just like, it's not sustainable. So stop it.
well, and I think in the vein of sustainable diet ideas. So right now I'm still nursing exclusively. She does eat table foods, but she nurses. She doesn't take formula. I will not be doing anything to try and lose weight while nursing. You can, but there is always a risk when you are going into a calorie deficit to try and lose weight that you will also lose your milk supply because
I
your
just
body
feel like
doesn't prioritize that.
I feel like even if you're not nursing, like when your children are very little, that is so stressful. I don't know that that's the time to stress about your weight because you have your whole. I know it feels like I'm gonna be fat forever, and I'm always gonna look like that. You're not. You're not. You're not. It's just you're very tired, and your body needs time, and your brain needs to get back to normal, and it's just not, to me, I mean, if you can do that, God love you, but if you are like I was, it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
Just be chubby for a while. It's all right.
and with breastfeeding, so to maintain your milk supply, just to maintain it, you need to eat an additional 3 to 500 calories per day, plus an additional like 70 ounces of water or something ridiculous. It's a lot of extra water. So I hear people all the time like, I'm breastfeeding, I'm constantly hungry, and I'm just eating crap and I'm getting fat. And for one, who cares? Like, your job is to feed your baby, raise your baby, take care of your kids, let your body heal from birth, all of that. For two, if you are finding that you're just never satisfied, try some proteiny foods, add a little more fat to your diet where you can. I know this time around, breastfeeding, I don't feel as like insatiably hungry all the time, but I'm eating more fats, more protein, so I feel fuller longer instead of just reaching for cookies and pastries and sugar, which doesn't. It's good for quick energy, but it's not going to make you feel satisfied for the long term.
Yeah, just I feel like that first year of your baby's life is just you do what you can, but it's not really the time to worry about it. And I promise you, you will not stay looking like that forever. I thought I would too. I was like, oh my God, it's all over. It's not. It'll be okay.
Yeah, so in the realm of sustainable diets, do you want to talk a little bit about the 5-2 diet that you've been doing?
Yeah, I love it. So I do. I love it because
I really want to try it, but breastfeeding, so not yet.
I haven't been doing that the whole 23 years, and I lost the weight, 23 years ago. I've kept it off, like I said, mostly here and there. I put weight back on, and all of it correlated with huge hormone changes. So every mom can relate to that. So then it was like I didn't put on 105 pounds back on. Like I said, 20 pounds was as much as I put back on. But, after you lost that much weight and you put 20 pounds on, you're like, oh my God, I'm just a cheeseburger away from being 250 pounds again. But so a little frustrating. So I was getting the weight off. It was slow going. Now, full disclosure, I do get hormone replacement now, and I think that did help greatly with, I think when I started, I was like at 156 pounds, and I'm about 5'6". So that's really only, I think, 6 pounds in the overweight category or whatever. So I wasn't huge or anything, but it was like a slow progression of that. And then no matter what I was doing, it wasn't budging. So I do get the hormone replacement. So that has helped, mostly with my muscle. So I lost a lot of muscle because of the brain thing, which slowed my metabolism down too. So it was kind of like menopause and muscle atrophy was like a 1-2 punch to my metabolism. It sucked. So anyway, so then I found the 5-2 diet, and basically what it is 2 days a week you eat, like for women, 500 calories. 2 days a week, but not 2 days consecutively. And then the rest of the week, you pretty much just eat whatever, and you're not supposed to eat when you're not hungry. Like when you're full, you're done. And then if you end up putting weight on during that period of time, then you have to look at what you're eating on the days that you're not worrying about it so much. So again, typically 2,000 calories on the days that you're not doing the calorie restricted. So for me, it's been great. So I was 156 when I started. I'm 142 now. So I don't know how long have I been doing it?
I don't remember.
2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2.5, 3 months or something like that. So, and that now I've lost all the weight that I want to lose. Like I'm good with where I am. So I am considering going down to just doing the restricted calorie for 1 day a week because I don't want to lose any more weight. But so doing it that way, I think about food less than I have in the last 23 years because I know how many calories are roughly in almost any food, and I'm constantly calculating in my head how many calories I've had. With this, I don't have to do that except 2 days a week. The rest of the days, now I still eat healthy food most of the time just because I like to be healthy. But I don't really think about it at all if I eat, like I've been eating ice cream before bed every night the last couple weeks except for the days I'm doing calorie restricted. So, and I haven't gained any weight back. So for me, it's worked really well, particularly because on my days where you don't worry about what you're eating, I actually eat more than maintenance calories on those days because gaining muscle is more important to me than losing weight at this juncture. And so in order to gain muscle, you need to eat more calories than you burn, but I still don't put weight overall on because I'm doing the calorie restricted for those 2 days. So if I like it, I'm not saying everybody needs to do it, but I get blood work regularly because of the hormone replacement and my numbers are great. So it has not affected my health in an adverse way at all. Um, so for me, it's working great. I like it.
Yeah. I think it sounds really cool. I really want to try it. I've definitely tried a few in the past that just weren't it for me. I did have some good luck with the intermittent fasting thing, but I mean that's kind of what the 5-2 is, just
It
done.
is. You
It's
intermittent
done
fast, like,
differently
right.
than like your traditional intermittent fasting where you're fasting like 16 hours and then you eat for 8 or whatever. It's just spread out over a week instead of a
Yeah,
24-hour
and
time span.
I have a couple of books on it. They have a couple of really good books. You can get them at like thrift books or whatever. And there's a lady who like breaks down, like, because a lot of people do it. People do it in different ways. Like they kind of tailor it to their lifestyle. So there's a lot of people doing it that do it differently. Like I choose to eat my 500 calories on that day in one meal usually, but some people will eat like little meals throughout the day. Some people do intermittent fasting still on the days that they're not doing their calorie restricted. It's really can be, the only rule to it is if you're a man at 600 calories on your restricted day, for women 500, for men on your non-restricted days you shouldn't go over 2200 calories, for women it's 2000. I mean, so the rules are that those are the only rules.
Um, yeah, so I think on that note, I think that's about most of what we've got to say on nutrition. The other thing I wanted to just kind of mention towards the end, because obviously this is a show geared towards moms, so you probably have children at home. They might be little or might be older. Maybe they're not at home anymore. Um, but I think the way you talk about food and the way you talk about nutrition in front of your kids is really important.
And the way you talk about yourself.
And the way you talk about yourself. So I see it all the time. How do I make sure my kid has a good relationship with food? And I think I like the way you've put it in the past where there's effective food and there's pleasure food rather than
That's
good
how I
food and
think
bad
of food.
food.
Yeah, that's how I think of food. And that's how I raised you guys, because you guys were pretty little when I started adopting a healthy lifestyle.
Hmm.
So for me, I never gave up the foods that I really love. So I love bacon, and I love ice cream. So I always ate that, even when I was, you know. But yeah, I like to eat effective, what I call effective food most of the time. So we know that fat is good for nutrient absorption, but I like to choose good fats, and animal fat is good fat too. The only really bad fat is hydrogenated fat. So
Hmm.
when you see that in packaged food, that's the stuff that gives you high cholesterol and clogs up your arteries. So I would stay away
Which
from that.
carnivore diet thing, a lot of them, that and keto, they push cooking with lard instead of like
Yeah,
vegetable based
absolutely, and that
oils.
is good.
Lard is great, but read your labels because a lot of big name lard brands are selling you hydrogenated lard, which is
Right.
not good.
It isn't. That the hydrogenated is what clogs your arteries and raises your cholesterol. So you don't want that. You don't want that. So you're better off with the butter than margarine. Margarine is horrible, horrible, horrible for you.
Hmm.
Pick butter. Do not pick margarine. Just watch your portions if you're worried about getting too many calories. Um, so you want to eat that. Good sources of fat, good sources of protein, and that's, some red meat, fish, chicken, all of that stuff, eggs. And then you want good sources of carbohydrates. If you're a person who's limiting your carbohydrates, your fruits and vegetables. If you're a person who's not limiting your carbohydrates, that's going to be your whole grains, your oats, fruits, vegetables, potatoes, which I know goes in the vegetable category, but for people who are trying to stay away from starchy, they would not probably choose a potato. They're probably, but eat your vegetables though, and plus lots of nutrients in those vegetables, so that's good. And I cannot say enough about cruciferous vegetables,
Cruciferous.
cruciferous. So that's going to be
Broccoli, cauliflower.
broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. Very, 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 very good for you. So if you like those foods, please eat those foods. And if your kids like those foods, please make those available to them. Um, those foods are actually better if you roast them a little bit or if you saute them lightly. It's fine to eat them raw. I'm not saying it's not, but your body actually processes it better if they're a little bit cooked. Not a lot cooked, just a little bit cooked. You actually
Yeah.
get more nutrients. So if you're eating it for the nutrients, not just the fiber, that's your best bang for your buck. I
And for
think kale
very,
too, right?
huh?
I think kale is in that category too,
I
isn't it?
think so. And for like little kids who, might not be the best at chewing, steaming them very well. My son like loves broccoli. He'll just eat broccoli with butter if it's steamed. So it's a
Yeah.
great option. Um, but all of this to say in terms of like talking about food and talking about how to talk about food to your kids, don't take that as us being perfect either.
No, for sure
Because
not.
as much as I try to go like, no food's bad, I'm not going to shame you for eating what you're eating. I have caught myself saying, you're not just going to eat crap all day, you need to eat something healthy. And that's not helpful. Like, I biffed it. I should have probably chose different words in that instance. But my kid was trying to eat like his sixth pack of fruit snacks or something, so.
Well, the thing is, so I eat effective food most of the time, and then I have pleasure food. That's food that might not necessarily be good for you. Oh, also, do not skip the dark chocolate. It's very, very good for you.
It
So
is.
if you like dark chocolate, please eat that dark chocolate. It raises the serotonin in your brain. Here's a really good trick if you're trying to avoid cravings. You're not sure if you're hungry or not, but you really got cravings. If you like dark chocolate, take a couple of chunks of that, like whatever your poison. If you like Dove Dark, like take 2 Dove Darks. If you like the bars, clip off, a couple squares. Eat those and wait about 30 minutes. Most of the time, if you're not really hungry, 30 minutes later, you won't be hungry anymore
Mm-hmm.
because it raises the serotonin in your brain.
You know
And
what
it's
other
a MUFA, so it's good for belly fat.
you know what other food actually does that too, which you
What's
wouldn't
that?
think of? Peas.
Hmm.
A small
Uh,
helping of peas. It releases the same chemical as
I will
dark
take the
chocolate.
dark chocolate.
I would take the dark chocolate personally, but if you're not a dark chocolate fan and maybe you do like peas, peas.
So when it comes to pleasure food, I don't eat it unless it's worth it.
Yeah.
So to me, donuts are not worth it. I never ever eat them. My what would be worth it to me?
Tiramisu.
Cake, tiramisu. Yeah, it has to be something that like ice cream, like I love. Which actually, ice cream rates medium on the glycemic index, which means it's not quite a complex carb, but it's not really a total simple carb. So it is actually a good food to eat about 30 minutes if you do any kind of weight training. If you eat it, not 30 minutes, about an hour before you weight train, it will give you the glycogen that you need to get through your workout, and you'll burn most of it off. So it's a great food for weightlifting. So if you do any weightlifting, an hour before, eat that ice cream. Yum.
Yeah.
So that's how I handle that. That's how I can make it a lifestyle. Like most of the time, I eat effective food, and a lot of the effective food I eat, I do really like. And then I have my pleasure food, which has no nutritional value, but I like it, and I'm gonna eat it, and I don't feel bad about it ever. And when I
Yeah.
eat cake, I eat a lot of cake,
I do too.
a lot.
I'm totally getting a cake for my birthday.
So much cake. I used to buy a half a sheet of cake. We would eat maybe a quarter sheet for whatever birthday party it was, and then the next morning I would eat the other quarter sheet myself.
Yeah.
But, I don't do it often, so hey.
Hey. Um, yeah. I think that's about all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on about nutrition forever, but if anybody has questions, I'm always here for you.
Yeah. Drop your questions, If you want us to do another nutrition episode about anything specific, let us know.
We can do one about exercise too. We can talk about the different muscle fibers and stuff because it matters.
Absolutely. And we don't get a whole lot of comments, so if you leave a comment, we will read it.
Well, yeah, and I just like there's so much information to go through where it comes to like when people are trying to get healthy. And again, one size does not fit all. But I have done so much research. I'm happy to answer any
Well,
questions anybody has.
and it's also important to remember that, there is this is what should work, this is the standard. There are always going to be deviations to that. There are going to be
Absolutely.
specific situations where you can throw all of that out the window because it doesn't matter right now. So don't freak
Yeah,
out about
absolutely.
those one-offs, you know.
Yeah, just try to do things a little healthier, a little bit at a time too. Like, don't wake up one day and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be healthy all the time," because
Right?
it won't
Today I'm gonna
last.
start CrossFit 7 days a week, and I'm only gonna eat 10 grams of carbs, and 2 days a week I'm gonna eat,
Yeah,
I
don't
don't
do
know.
that to yourself. Don't
Yeah.
do that to yourself. Your brain doesn't like it when you make changes that quickly. I don't think that wouldn't have worked for me. I wouldn't be where I am right now if I had tried to do that 23 years ago. It was a very slow process for me. I changed my lifestyle over a period of time.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's
all
all
right.
I got for
Let
now.
let's roll it.